notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975.
To have a moment of silent meditation. May we have Commissioner Romero lead us in the flag salute?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk?
Commissioner Alstino.
Here.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Here.
Commissioner Romero.
Here.
Commissioner Logue. Present. Commissioner Taylor. Present. Deputy Director Marchand.
Here.
Director Sorrow.
Here.
Do I have a motion and second to accept and dispense with the reading of the minutes from the last public meeting?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
By email of February 27, 2025, the Cape May County Board of Commissioners notified the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners of Resolution 109-25 adopted at a meeting held on February 25, 2025 in support of publishing legal notices on official government websites. By email dated March 5, 2025, the Monmouth County Board of Commissioners notified the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners of Resolution 2025-0176 adopted at a meeting held on February 27, 2025, opposing A 919-S1518, which would establish certain procedures and standards concerning public services privatization contracts. By email dated March 13, 2025, the Morris County Board of Commissioners notified Cumberland County Board of Commissioners of Resolution 2025-233 adopted at a meeting held on March 12, 2025, opposing A 919-S1518, which would establish certain procedures and standards concerning public services privatization contracts. Do I have a motion and second to open public comment on resolutions only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Anyone from the public that'd like to make a statement or ask a question, please step forward and just state your name and where you're from. Seeing no one's coming up, may I have a motion to close?
Motion to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Department head comments.
Anyone, department heads, who wish to come forward, make any kind of comments, ask any questions? Seeing none?
Motion to close that.
No.
Okay.
Consent agenda resolutions. Do I have a motion and second to vote by consent agenda on resolutions 2025-171 through 2025-198?
So moved.
Second. Commissioner Alstino.
Yes,
Commissioner Albrecht.
everything except, I apologize to the director, but I didn't look at it until late. The one where we're awarding, give me a second, I'll tell you exactly. It's number 16, resolution 25-186. I've served for 5 years now, and the Democrats, when they're in charge of the board, voted numerous times to allow he paid bills ahead of time without the approval of the board. I never think the board should delegate responsibility. We have 2 meetings a month, plenty of time. We have 45 days to pay most of our bills. There's no reason to delegate this this ability to decide what is being paid. So the only thing I object is this. I don't object to it. Thank you.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Logue.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Do I have a motion and second to adopt resolutions 2025-171 through 2025-198 by consent?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Everything except what I noted. So.
Commissioner Romero. Commissioner Logue.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-199, resolution rejecting all proposals for providing virtual reality reality career exploration simulations for the Cumberland Salem Cape May Workforce Development Board and authorizing the re-advertising for request for proposals RFP number 25-07. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-200, resolution approving change order number 3 to contract for lease of Kyocera copiers. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second. Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-201, resolution authorizing amendments to the shared service agreements between the County of Cumberland and the cities of Bridgeton, Millville, and Vineland concerning code blue warming shelters. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
I have a question on that. Just what were the amendments that were changed? Does anybody know?
It was additional money, $25,000 each,
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
and it was divided equally.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't see you going up there, sorry.
That's all right.
Good evening, my name is Melissa Niles. I live in Vineland, New Jersey. I'm the Department Head for Human Services. So this amendment is to add funding. There's 2 funding sources that the county contributes to assist Code Blue. One is through direct contributions from the ARPA funds, and the other one is acting as a pass-through agent on behalf of the State of New Jersey Division of Family Development. So it's each municipality gets $50,000 each and $25,000 per. So that's what that is. It's adding the money into it.
So it's an addition.
Yes.
Okay, very good. That's all. Thank you very much.
Can we also, when we put this through, make sure that that it's noted that the county's provided this fund, this pass through, that it's been before that it's the cities, well, it's the county that contributes this money to these 3 cities. It's just an extra note to that when we send it over to them.
What we can do is, when we do a resolution, can we just add that saying that it's going through the county?
Sure.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-202, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for use of Kyocera copiers. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-203, resolution authorizing application to and agreement with the New Jersey Department of Health for the mini grant for the Senior Citizen Farmer Market Nutrition Program. Do I have a motion and second?
I have a question about that. Can I ask it?
Mhm.
Is this just for the vouchers for the seniors, or are we reopening the farmer's market?
Hi, Barbara Nedahan, Director of the Office on Aging. This is just a stipend for the administrative aspects of the program. Normally, Cumberland County will receive 1,600 vouchers at $40 apiece, so this is
That to
just
be used at all the farm stands?
at all the participating farm markets.
Right,
Yes.
but we're not reopening the county farm market?
Oh, no, this has nothing
Okay,
to do with the
I just wanted
county
to make sure
one,
that wasn't
yeah.
part of that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-204, resolution authorizing an agreement of sale and release of claims between Cumberland County and holdover tenant Antonio and Iswanacato regarding residential property located at 2191 Finch Street. Do I have a motion and second?
Can we just, John, can you just give us a...
Thumbnail sketch of
Yeah,
this.
a thumbnail sketch.
This is a property that came to the county prosecutor through a forfeiture action. On the county prosecutor's motion, the house came with tenants already in the property. And the county, the prosecutor's office is trying to support the notion that we don't disturb the tenants, but we get fair value for the property in order to put it back into the forfeiture fund to do further good for the county. That's what this is.
We're not evicting the people.
Not evicting them, he's a pastor of a local church.
Exactly.
The county paid for an appraisal. I believe we will recover that money out of the forfeiture funds in order to make the event net neutral to the county, but you're going to keep them in the house, get fair value for it, and life goes on. So it comes out in terms of the settlement to the extent that you have tenants with rights in the property, and we're looking to just
What's important, Commissioner, is that what's important, Commissioner, is that the people are not being evicted, that they're going to be staying.
Very good.
They want to be taxpayers in the county.
There you go.
Excellent.
All right.
Do I have a motion?
So,
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Alstino.
Yes.
Commissioner Albrecht.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero. Commissioner Lodes.
yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Deputy Director Marchand.
Yes.
Director Sorrow.
Yes,
I feel the need to add just one little caveat to that. The people that are in there, the people that are named in the resolution, had nothing to do with the criminal action that begot the forfeiture. I
Thank you
think
for
that's
mentioning
important.
that. I appreciate that, thank you.
That would leave me
Thank you for saying
uncomfortable.
that,
They've been
yes.
nothing but good. They had no idea of the history of the property, that it would end up in the county's hands.
Thank you for adding that.
You bet.
Do I have a motion and second to accept treasurer's report as provided?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion and second for authorizing payment of all salaries and
I'll
wages?
make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion and second to open public comment on new business only?
Make the motion to open public comment?
second.
All in favor?
Aye. Anyone from the public like to come up and speak on any new business?
Dean Hawk, sorry about this.
Take your time.
I lost the page.
Happens.
In the very beginning of the agenda, it has two things in it, one from Monmouth County and the other from Morris County, talking about establishing certain procedures and standards concerning public services privatization contracts. What are they?
Counsel?
Sure. So these are communications from other counties to Cumberland County. We are not involved in their goings-on, but they wanted us to be cognizant of them.
Well, okay, but what is
I'm sorry?
public service privatization contracts? What is that?
I have not read what they sent personally, but that's what I know, is that it came.
It's based on a piece of
correspondence board.
legislation that was introduced in the Assembly and the Senate. The thing was, I didn't get a chance to read what the law was that they were trying to go against, that's all. But they just wanted to notify us that they were against it.
I can understand that, but don't you think that if it's in here, someone somewhere in this room should have some way to say, here's what it is, and that's why we put it in here.
It's in here because it's correspondence to the board, to be clear.
It's just correspondence. We just didn't get a chance to read the law that was trying to be passed or that was introduced.
We can provide the proposed bill if you'd like it. I can get through.
No, I don't care about the bill. I want to know what public services privatization contract
It's a
is.
bill, and I'm offering it to you if you'd like it. If you'd like me to produce it, I can.
It's all good
I
stuff.
think I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, done. I'll have it in my
It
office.
sounds like mumble jumble,
Understood. Yeah.
honestly. Can I ask another question? And maybe I'm out of turn, but I'd like to hear it. Resolution 193. Talking about raising the ceiling, which $30,000, which brings it to $807,000 we paid this law firm. What can it possibly be? We're in Little County.
Counselor?
So this was a long-standing suit that is now fortunately settled. This is to pay the last of the expenses, but going backwards. Brown Clark was a class action lawsuit against the county. And it was
For what? Do you know?
Sure, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Yep, no, it was for conditions in the jail. And it's something you and I have talked about from time to time
Okay.
as this has progressed, but it was a class action suit that was handled on behalf of multiple inmates about conditions in the jail, and there continues to be monitoring at the jail as a result, and this is really as a result of the COVID epidemic where this came from. And this was Federal Judge Hillman who handled the litigation and who is now retired.
And when it's finally settled, will we find out who, where, what, how?
It's all of record as far as the suit. In other words, the litigation would have to be sealed in order to not hand it to you,
Yeah.
right? But there's a complaint, and at this point, there's a settlement agreement that is not in any way private, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I guess the reason I'm asking is we're paying the lawyer alone $807,000.
This is multiple lawyers over multiple years.
What the heck did we pay the people on the other end? The
So there was, because it's a class action suit, there's a very complicated metric whereby you have to make the money available to those that were similarly affected. So you have people applying, saying, I was in your jail and I was impacted, and there's a formula for what they collect. So nothing about this was simple. You've gotten notices like this at home probably. You may have been infected, you can participate in the class action suit. That's what this was.
Wow. Okay. I think.
Good news is it's a win to the extent that it's over, and I believe the jail.
Took about 5 years.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
which is why the cumulative is so appalling.
It is.
And you're not going to have a total until everybody runs.
Everybody gets paid.
Everybody gets paid, so you're not going to have a total yet. When you ask the question, what's the total, we can't give it to you because we don't know who's going to apply for it.
And are we paying that out of county funds, or do we have an insurance policy for this?
There was some limited insurance. The way it was pled as an intentional act. So
Negligence?
not just negligence, no. An
I'm
intentional
saying
act.
that was one of them.
That's the difference, right? But negligence was a part of it. And
Right.
so there was some recovery.
All right, I thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for asking the question, Mr. Hunt.
But Mr. Carr, after all this stuff, that this is the end, and we've met Judge Hillman's, he's on good footing with us. We have
So you still have a
oversight.
monitor?
We have oversight.
You have a monitor that visits the jail, so could it flare up into something? Possibly, but I don't believe so. But at this point, with this, you should be,
And we report to this
Wrapped up.
monitor every month, or every 3 months, we report.
the monitor
This is
stages
opposite.
surprise visits and comes and looks
And
and
so
stays in
far-
touch, but
And so far, all the parties seem relatively okay with what we've done.
that is
Over
correct.
the course of
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Well, the sad part is that we have to pay for the monitor, keep coming
Yeah,
in.
we're-
Okay,
we're
so
lost.
even though there's a judgment and it's over with, the case, we're still paying.
Sure.
But they'll
The
still be
good news
paying.
is,
Yeah, but the
so
clock is
far,
ticking, and we're doing well with it.
and so far, the monitor is not just coming for the heck of it.
Right.
So I'm happy to report that I'm not seeing it coming. That's important.
It's good.
We have another individual, state your name and,
Sandy Acevedo, Upper Deerfield Township. There was an article in one of the papers that talked about some congressional earmarks that the county has lost. Have we indeed lost those earmarks? And can you give us any insight on,
let her finish.
any insight on what, you know, whether we'll be getting them back or
We
permanent
asked
or?
two. Well, we asked two. The earmarks were requested. That was Congressman Van Drew and Senator Cory Booker to help with the Dab Avenue. We requested it. Actually, Congressman Van Drew's got knocked off earlier, and the only one was left was Senator Booker's request. Keeping our fingers crossed, but I just got the same news you got, that was knocked off. So, and the idea was to help seed money for the Dab Avenue, to help us to do whatever we needed to get going, the engineering, the beginning part, because it doesn't cover everything, it's just part of it. So, but we can always apply again. It was just the budget's kind of was in chaos.
So we have to apply it again for all of the, because
Yeah,
it was like 600,000 and eight
Yeah, it was
down, I think,
1.7,
well.
the request to put in, I think Congressman Van Drew put in like 1.4. So they would have meshed it together, but it got knocked off early on one side, and keep our fingers crossed the other side, but it got knocked off also, so.
So they're not monies that we were guaranteed, we were
No,
just
no,
trying to
no,
get
no,
them,
no.
and now
It's a-
they're
it's a
saying.
wish
no,
That was a wish list.
Yeah.
Okay, when they say knocked off, it means it was taken out of the budget
Yeah.
for.
But they can always put it for the next year.
They can work on it later on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
Yeah,
I was
that's it.
wondering, whether it was a permanent thing or whether it was just
No.
a.
And if Congress would speak with him, he'd probably be more willing to help put it through again. But again, requesting Senator Booker, if we move forward, then he'd probably be more willing to help us again. Just didn't happen this time, that's all. So
All right.
2025 budget, I guess, or whatever budget they were talking about.
We're not gonna give up.
We're not gonna give up, yes.
All right, thank you.
Disappointing, but we're not gonna give up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Ridgway from Upper Deerfield and Fairfield Townships. This is another month that we haven't publicly had a treasurer's report read in public. Very disappointing. This is the end of March. There's been no discussion about the county budget. Are you going to request to the state to have your budget time extended? You're not talking about anything. And those are very important questions. This is budget time. So when do you plan on introducing your budget?
Anyone else? We had talked about at the last meeting that we were looking for April or into May for the budget. That was stated last meeting. So that's what we're looking for. At this point in time, we're not finished. We're still working on it, and we'll see how it works out.
And what about the treasurer's report that would tell me the finances of the county?
Do you have a packet, Ms. River?
It's not in your packet. We always had a treasurer's report at the microphone. And I'm pretty sure that the people tuning in and listening and looking online would be interested in a real treasurer's report like we were getting when we had Jeff Ridgway here.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to step forward? Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioner reports?
Okay. Commissioner Alstino.
Yes, I was honored to be able to attend the agricultural board meeting at the 4-H Center in Rosenhain. Very interesting. I don't have an agricultural background, but I'm learning. And it was, one of their concerns there is with the tariff, how it's going to affect the farmers in the area. And it's already started to affect some of them. They've been notified that Canada is not going to buy our fruits and vegetables from this area, so they got to look for another buyer. They import a lot of stuff too that they use for growing the crops, like the plants and the peat moss and all, and a lot of them ordered it early before the tariff would take effect. I also attended a 4-H function at the Cumberland Mall where they had a display of all the different things that they do. And it's not just horses, it's all kinds of crafts, you name it, they do it. And it's very nice and well attended. Then yesterday I attended the Human Relations Board meeting. And when I was sheriff, I was a member of the board, so I'm familiar with the board. And just say one of the problems they're concerned about is with all the publicity of immigration, that the immigrants are not reporting all the crimes and they're not getting involved as far as being witnesses. So it's a problem that all the departments are having. And that's it.
That's it, anything else? Okay. Commissioner Albrecht?
First thing, 4-H is right now two people down, and we've actually had people come into the audience and requesting it. I was talking to the administration. We have one that's going to be put out to one advertising for one person, and we're working on the second one. So we hope probably a relatively short period of time we do get a good person, and we have other plans for the second part. So we should be up to 3 again in relatively good terms. There have been people call. We've tried to keep them abreast of what we're doing. The administration, the business administrator has, I have. So we'll do, and at least at ease and wait for what we're doing, and okay with that. I got a chance, and I mentioned this board about I believe that we're going to have an EMS crisis in this county. I got a chance to sit in the city of Millville's EMS department. They were going over the numbers because they are the most recent department to go from not having an EMS to having the EMS. And it was a pretty good discussion on the numbers, so realistic numbers. And it was there was the mayor of Warsaw Township, Ken Wilden, and the Jack Feldes Jr. and the chief and another individual. Just basic numbers, just finding what the numbers are, what we're looking at, what are the possibilities. Pretty good discussion. We know that we face, and eventually I'd like to share with the commission just an idea, so they get an idea what we're working towards. Downtown is going to be the first township affected because I think their contract's up shortly. And with Spear, it's a pretty hefty number. We even reaching out, Warsaw Township comes up next. I don't know if commercial has a little EMS, and that department is actually kind of, they're trying, and they're still there, they're trying. Fairfield is very interested to be a part of this. Upper Deerfield says they see it coming, probably a year to 2 years off. They have a volunteer and paid service. Deerfield, a lot of people are getting older, so they understand that their response times are getting a little slower, not by any reason of their own. They work hard, but everyone is saying it, and I just want to make sure this board is aware of it. The second, I want to point out that we had some discussions, and again, I point to administration in the 700 system, emergency management and 911. There are some changes, but the administration and the director have made sure that that system will be working and intact and have coverage. They've expressed it, and I'm just saying that they can talk in their own terms. They've expressed this to the fire departments and the EMS, and that the system will stay fully functional, running, and covered. And we'll keep on top of it. That's all. So last thing, the library. We lost the director a couple months ago. Right now, they've been interviewing. They believe they're going to make an offer to one of the people to interview. The director. I'm kind of happy that I won't say who it is yet, but they'll announce it. And then we'll move forward and keep going. And it took a little bit of the process, but again, that board I believe, is a very good board, and has made some worked hard to get the right person, and we'll go from there. And we announce when they're ready to announce it, but hopefully shortly. So, thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Lowe's.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Now at this point, still daylight. I'm getting confused, you know. But March is a big month. It's Red Cross Awareness Month, and it's also Women's History Month. And I just want to let you know what that month means here in Cumberland County. So for Women's History Month, Cumberland County Women's Hall of Fame inducted 2 new members to our Cumberland County Women's Hall of Fame, and we were there to congratulate them. And that's Amy Mansue, who is our CEO of Inspira Health Network here in Cumberland County, as well as Jean Scarani, who is an educator in the county for, I don't know, since the 70s, I believe. She started Centerton Country Day School, and has really been an innovator in childhood education here in Cumberland County. So congratulations to these 2 women on being inducted into the Cumberland County Women's Hall of Fame. It's certainly well deserved. And for Red Cross Awareness Month, this marks the 80th year that Red Cross Month has been celebrated and acknowledged in the United States of America. It was originally started by President Franklin Roosevelt. And every 8 minutes, Red Cross volunteers respond to a disaster in the United States of America. So to say that the need for blood donations is imminent is an understatement, of course. The need for blood is constant. 1 in 7 patients that enter a hospital will need a blood transfusion. And here in Cumberland County, we have been doing our part. Since January, we've hosted 22 blood drives in Cumberland County, and that number keeps going. And so far, we've collected 580 units of blood so far to serve the public. So I just want to let you know what Red Cross Month and Women's History Month are doing here in Cumberland County. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Romero.
I have nothing to say.
Okay. Commissioner Taylor?
Yes, I attended the Board of Health meeting, and I just think it's important to let the public know that the norovirus is in Cumberland County, and you know, if you're used to using hand sanitizer, that does not work with the norovirus. You have to use soap and water and say happy birthday. So I thought that was important to mention. Also, the bird flu, we have several cases of that in Cumberland County. I think it's pretty much under control as far as we know today. I did want to mention, I also attended the Board of Elections meeting, and Ms. Hernandez, can you give the dates of, because we're going to have some extra dates to vote. Do you have that?
Just give me 1 second.
For the early voting, because it is you know, an election year for a new governor, so.
June 3rd. Yeah, so it'll be from June 3rd to June 8th for our early voting.
Thank you. I also wanted to mention, this Saturday at the fairgrounds, they're going to have the Cindy Hetzel Memorial Fundraiser. It's a horse riding event. They did, and it's through 4-H. They earned $2,500 last year, so if you have some time this weekend, that might be something you want to stop out and see. And I think that's about it.
Deputy Director Carter.
Thank you. So I know at our last meeting, we discussed the resolution 191-25, that's the utility increases. I know people have heard me talk about this many times. Tonight we passed that resolution. So once again, I do want to thank this board for taking a stance and standing up for the people of Cumberland County. But I do want to say the job certainly isn't done. Still, please make your calls to the BPU, make your calls to the governor, make your voice heard. That's very important. We're just at the beginning of this battle. We still need to fight it. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to go down to Lawrence Township EMS, had a fundraiser, great chicken barbecue, great food, great people, they're always so welcoming. We had a very nice time down there, I had the opportunity to speak with a few people, and what I found very interesting was at least a handful of people told me how they tune in and watch our meetings every week, so every month or 2 meetings a month. So I thought that was so high. Thanks for tuning in. So I thought that was really nice, and I did appreciate that. And then I'd like to also bring up community events. So we have Upper Deerfield having Upper Deerfield Day. I believe that's April 26th, 12 to 4. Very family friendly. They usually have vendors and food truck. It's a nice way to spend an afternoon with your family. So I highly recommend it. And the best part about that is there's no admission fee, so it's free. So that's all I have right there.
Thank you. One, I was at the barbecue also, and I was at the Women's Hall of Fame. But I want to address something that Commissioner Albrecht brought up, which is a very important issue, and that is the ambulance service in the townships. And I had a meeting with Inspira, and it was quite candid. And I more or less kind of threw it in their wagon that it was their fault that this happened. I was trying to figure out how to say that nicely, but it's exactly what happened. Okay. This is not going to stop here. We're going to have more meetings. I do believe that Inspira has to step up and make a difference in this. This is something that we have to take a stand on, because when someone comes in and takes over an ambulance service, and everybody's happy about it because it was a big organization, and they figure, well, how can it fail? And then all of a sudden, they leave, or they raise it to a point where nobody can afford it. So that is not acceptable, and we will have more meetings with them, and they're going to find out about it through this meeting. We have to figure something out. This is a situation where if you look at the county, does the county have the money to put out $1 million or more for ambulance? And the answer is no. So what we have to do is go back to the people that I believe are responsible for this and get them to work on this. That's the first thing. The second thing is I was honored to be asked to testify in Trenton on, it's no longer called the Juvenile Justice Commission. It's called the Youth Justice Commission, YJC instead of JJC. And there were a number of us from the counties that were there, and we were at a Senate committee hearing, and I was able to get across to them that it's costing the people in Cumberland County, not just Cumberland County, but in the state of New Jersey, a lot of money to house the juveniles. And it's a very interesting situation where you have the YJC coming in and saying, okay, it's the responsibilities of the county to take care of this, even though I don't actually have the number, was NJSA 14 or whatever, where it states that the Justice Commission is responsible for placing the actual individuals. But they turn around and say the counties are responsible, but they say, well, you have to do it our way, and when you're not succeeding at it, it's your fault. I want you to think about what I just said. It's your responsibility, but you have to do it our way, the way we want you to do it, but when you fail, it's your fault. And that's what's happening right now. And I really do believe, I think we made an impact with the commission, because later on I had two senators come up and we talked probably for about 20, 25 minutes on this. We have almost 50% of our juveniles, they're not juveniles, they're over the age of 18. In anybody's standards, that means they're adults. Now, juvenile detention officers, JDOs, are not trained to look after adults. And corrections officers, COs, are not trained to look after juveniles or children. So that's where the situation is right now. What we need to do is get the adults, because you're allowed to keep them to the age of 26. Think about that. A 26-year-old with a 15-year-old in the same community. That's not acceptable. It is not acceptable. So we're working hard on it. I have to give kudos to John Donadio. He did a great job. He's with NJAC, New Jersey Association of Counties, and he put this all together. And if you ever want to know about a great organization, they are a great organization because they fight for the counties every day. And he did a fabulous job putting it together, making sure we were able to testify before this committee. It's not over. We made a number of recommendations. Hopefully within the next 2-3 months, we're going to see progress in that. So I was very happy that I was up there. It was an all-day affair, but I think it was well worth it, and I think we made some strides into it. that's about it. I'm not gonna hold everybody up anymore, but I think we did well up there. But any other commissioners have anything else to say?
No.
Do we have any?
No need for executive session tonight.
Okay,
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
there you go.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC. Programming that serves the South Jersey market.